Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Alpha Omega Occasionally. This is all about getting married in Thailand and why you shouldn't, in my opinion. Well, you see, it depends on the person, of course, but I'm going to go through a few details with you about the pros and cons. You don't need me to tell you about the pros and cons about being married, but I can give you some details about the pros and cons about being married in Thailand. My wife has gone away. Actually, hang on a second. Yeah, my wife has gone away for the night. I think it's for the night. And you might say, why don't I know? Well, I'll explain that as we go on. But she's gone away with my son Harry. And I first found out about her going away last night. That's the first I heard about it, when she came home from work. And she was bringing Harry with her. But I thought we were all going together. She's gone to Hoi Hin. And I thought we were all going together. And I says, where are you going? And I'm not going to go into every single detail about, the conversations we have. There's a fella opened up a new restaurant there. By the way, this is where I come and drink of a night. It's an alleyway between Intramra 47 and Rashida 17. I better do something with the light here. I've just turned around because I'm trying to keep in the shade. It's absolutely stifling. It's about 38 degrees. Anyway, they're opening up a restaurant there behind me. This is where I drink. It's Rashida. That's Rashida 17, and Intramra 47 is down there, and the Well Bar is just there. It's a great place to come. 120 baht for a large bottle of Leo. And it's very popular with all kinds of tourists. Now, you can get a lot of Farang coming to stay in this area, but that's besides the point. My wife has taken my son away to Hoi Hin for the night, and she didn't tell me anything about it till 12 hours before she was due to go. And when I asked her, what was it? When I asked her, was I going, or was it just for her company, the company she works for? She angrily replied, I want private, in her broken English. That's what she said, I want private. So I left it at that. I had to ask Harry to ask her to tell me what was going on. So as it turns out, she's going away with the company. It's only company managers, and she's one of them, and their children. And they're gone away for a night to Hoi Hin. And I feel wonderful about that. Of course I do. You might say, because when the cat's away, the mice will play. I've gone beyond that now. I really have, genuinely. I used to get excited about stuff like this, being alone in Bangkok on a Friday night. I mean, but you see, that's worn off me. I'm too old now. It's old hat. But I'm pretty confident in myself being alone, and that's what I'm talking about. That's why when I say don't get married, that's what I'm talking about. I've moved away from the noise there, and yes, okay, I've done up my shirt. I don't know why that's such a big deal with guys, but I'm doing it because I'm getting so much shit about it. Not just because of that, because I say, okay, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, put it that way. Anyway, if you can afford not to get married in Thailand, don't. That's the simple. Keep my eyes and ears up for cars and motorcycles. You can never get a minute's peace in this town. Don't get married. I am in Bangkok tonight, on my own, and I can live just as cheaply as I could with her. And if I was away from her full time, let's say I was left to my own devices, I could live a lot more cheaply than I do, and I'll tell you why. She earns a lot more than I do. She operates on a higher plane, a much, much higher plane. She has numerous properties. I don't have any. I won't go into all that detail, but she's operates on a much higher plane. And when we're together, she'll choose to go to a restaurant that can cost anything from 1,500 to 3,000 baht for a meal. And I wouldn't choose to do that because I can't afford to do that. But we end up going. And I feel compelled, if not to pay the full whack, to pay half. But in fairness to her, she'll just pay the full whack. But she'll pay the full whack and she'll just do it. But any kind of fracas or misunderstanding or argument we have, over the following few days will involve I pay for everything, you know, and that's what I mean. It's a pain in the ass. If I could find a place to stay around here where I am now for 6,000 baht a month, which is a heck of a lot cheaper than where I'm staying now. We're not renting, we own it, but the going rent from where I'm staying is 15,000 baht a month. So you can find oodles of places around here for 6,000 baht a month. And then you're looking at your utilities, your internet is probably, 6 to 800 baht a month. So you could easily do it for yourself. You could easily be self-sufficient, which I'm not. And I alluded to tourists. There's two Farang there. This place has become really, really popular with European tourists. I don't know how they found it, because you have to know where you're going to come to this place. But you can easily survive on your own. I'd say 6,000 for the rent. You have to have the internet. 800 for that, let's say. 500 baht for your phone bill. So we're up to 8,000 baht. Let's say we're up to 8,000 baht for the month. Groceries, you could keep that really, really to a minimum. You really could. Let's say 3,000 for food, let's say. So you could easily live on 15,000 baht a month. That's just covering your essentials. And then if you want to have a few beers or whatever you may want, I'd recommend you go to 7-Eleven, you get a few cans. 4 cans in 7-Eleven are 151 baht exactly, and I never quote statistics, but that is a statistic because I know it only too well. It's 151 baht for 4 small cans of Leo. So for a tenner you can buy 8 cans of Leo. Well, that's €10. 8 cans of Leo, and that will set you well on your way for a good night out. And you can behave like you used to behave when you were a teenager. You drink before you go out, and then when you go to the expensive bar, whatever, the dance, whatever it is, you don't have to drink so much or spend so much. That's what I do. So if I used to go out tonight, that's what I would do. And I'd have an affordable night. But when I'm with her, I tend to spend more money at weekends when we're together, because she's working during the week. I tend to spend more money at weekends when I'm out with her than I spend on weekdays by myself, because she operates on a different plane. And, you know, I love her and she loves me, and I'm using a raised inclination there to make it into a question, because I'm not sure. But she's there for me all the time. I give you that 100%. And we work well together. Things go well. Yeah, we're working well together. Team Harry. But if I was on my own, I tell you what, where I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be in Thailand. No, I wouldn't be in Thailand. I'd be somewhere else. I'm going to tell you where I'd be in a second. But you see that thing there? That Mercedes has been sitting there almost as long as I've been here. Actually, it's been moved since, because it was very dusty. But now it looks fairly clean. In this car park, we'll just move up here. I'll show you another 1 or 2 buttes of cars that are parked in this hotel car park. Look at that thing there. It's a Toyota Crown. Oh my God, it's wonderful. Look, absolutely wonderful machine. I've always liked them. And you know what? I wouldn't be here. You know where I'd be? I'd probably be in Spain. I said this before. I think I said this before. I've got an EU passport, not a British passport, an Irish passport, because Ireland is a republic, not part of the UK. I have to keep saying that. I've got an Irish passport, and it's an EU passport, and that affords me the privilege of being able to live and work anywhere within the 27 member states of the European Union. And that includes obviously Spain and Greece, but I would choose Spain because hablo español un poquito. I can speak a bit of Spanish, and Spanish is an easier language to learn than Thai for a Latin language speaker by far, and you don't need me to tell you that. And you could live in Spain, in the south of Spain, you could live, say, arguably as cheap as you can live in Thailand. And you don't have to worry about visas. That's the biggest single pain in the ass thing for me. Being vulnerable because I'm married to a Thai. And the reason I feel vulnerable is because my visa is dependent on my marital status, on my marriage to her. So your Thai wife holds the strings if you're on that visa. And you might say, why don't I go for a retirement visa? I'll tell you why. Because a retirement visa is $24,000 you need in the bank. The marriage visa, well, it's not a visa, it's the O visa, non-immigrant O visa. The retirement aspect of that necessitates that you have $24,000 in the bank. But the marriage aspect of that necessitates that you have $12,000 in the bank. That's where I am. Okay, two fellas having a chat there. I'll move out of their way. If you're wondering what car park I'm in the car park of the Rashida, the Bangkok Rashida 17 Hotel. Very, very reasonable place to stay. But yeah, I'd be in Spain. That's where I'd be. And that's where I'd like to be on a day like today. Waking up by myself, having the same setup as I have here, i.e. a couple of YouTube channels, afford me some kind of income, and doing a bit of online stuff which affords me another type of income. But beware, AI is having an effect on a lot of online jobs, and my online pursuit has been affected by AI already, negatively. But that's besides the point. I'd much rather be today in Spain, feeling as I am now talking to you. I'd much rather be in the south of Spain, sinking a few havesa. Am I pronouncing that right? Uno havesa, por favor. Because I haven't lived in Spain, I've been there many times. My Spanish pronunciation is not great, but I can speak it. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. Eres a casa. Cuánto la costa, señorita? That's a force of habit, living in Thailand. Anyway, but that's where I'd like to be. And if push came to the shove and she gave me the shove, I wouldn't hang around. Okay, I have my son. Okay, if I disregard the fact that I have a son, let's say I didn't have a child and she gave me the shove, I'd be on the first flight to Spain. Abso-friggin-lutely, I would. Because although I love living here, and I've been here 12 years, and it's my home, and it would be an absolute wrench for me to leave here. You know, if the situation is forced upon you, you've got nothing else to do but to do it. And if I had to finish up my years in the south of Spain, that's where I'd prefer to be. Imagine walking around a Spanish village at this time of the day, not having to worry about visas or 90-day reports, doing your bit of online stuff, well, doing my YouTube and stuff like that, going down the village to have your breakfast, stroll along the beach. You can say you do that all here, but you don't have to speak gobbledygook in Spain. I mean, the Thai language. No disrespect to the Thai language, but goddamn, Spanish is a lot more sophisticated of a language, number one. And number two, it's a lot easier for me to speak. Hablo español un poquito. So there you go. I miss my son today because I'm usually with him. I don't miss my wife because I'm not usually with her. She's usually at work. And my message to you is, don't come to Thailand if you're depending on getting married to facilitate your status. In other words, have a visa. It's just not worth it. That's the truth. It's just, and maybe it's taken me a little while to get to the point on this, but that's the message. Don't marry a Thai girl to facilitate your status in Thailand. And I know you wouldn't do that, and I know I didn't do that. We have a son together. I love my wife. But if you're kind of hemming and hawing, you want to stay here, and you look upon marriage as just part of the structure that enables you to stay here, don't do it. It's an absolute disaster waiting to happen. It really is. And if you're not really in love with your Thai wife and you're having problems with her, the amount of temptation that's out there, and you don't need me to tell you, I could do it now. I could absolutely do it now. I could go off and do something. But I don't want to, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of that carry on. But who knows, tonight when I'm down at the Well Bar down there and having a few beers, and we'll see what happens. And I am being a bit cynical, but I don't care. I'd much rather be in Spain than be in Thailand today. Even though I love Thailand, I'd rather be in Spain. There you go, lads. Anyway, I don't know what you're going to make of this. I don't know what I'm going to make of it when I edit it. But whatever it is, if you haven't done so already, click that like button, the share button, subscribe button. Do all those wonderful things, and I'll bring you back another wonderful video very soon. Thanks for joining me.